What's up guys, Shane here, and today we're going to be talking about some Battlefield 2026 leaks and sort of some detective work that went into finding out what one of the new maps is. So I'm going to first talk about the sort of breakdown of where the exact location of the map in the Battlefield Labs trailer was, and then afterwards we'll talk about some leaks that came out in the comment section below that and what they mean for the future of this game. So the first thing is the new map. So the first part that kind of started to put all this together was in Level Cap's video. He talked about the translation of some of the Arabic on the map that says "for the future of Egypt." So that got a lot of people thinking, okay, maybe this is in Egypt or it's related to an Egyptian faction, at least somewhere in the vicinity where people would be writing that. Then another translation of some Hindu Arabic numerals on some graffiti came back and talked about that it's the number 57. And this is when Egypt was granted sovereignty over the Suez Canal a few months after the Second Arabic-Israeli War. And so this graffiti seems to be commemorating that event. And then another section of this picture shows the exposed brick wall with no mortar that is very commonly seen in Egyptian multi-story buildings. So you can see the background of that building looks super similar to a lot of buildings that are in Egypt and more specifically Cairo. Now the next few pictures go super specific into where this map is located. So it's kind of like GeoGuessr almost. So this guy found like the exact buildings, the exact palm trees, the exact curb, and sort of broke it down and really believes that this is within Cairo, Egypt. And so to me, this looks super accurate. I mean, the palm trees look very similar. The curb and sort of the pattern on the curb of it going between yellow and black looks super similar too, and even the location of the AC units coming out of the window match up. So I think this is a super valid deduction, and I think it's pretty awesome that someone was able to find this. Now the next one is even more specific, I'd say. He shows the picture of the tank kind of breaking into what looks like either a courtyard or a temple, and then he found the real life temple and basically shows that the windows are in the exact same location, that the height of the arch that would match up with the tank is pretty accurate. And so this temple, or mosque, I guess, is Mosque Madrasa of Sultan Hassan in Cairo, Egypt. And so I think this gives the most validity that this map is based in Cairo, Egypt. So now we have one map based in Gibraltar and one map in Cairo. I'll show the image of the Gibraltar one that came from basically the first teaser like a year ago, and it just said Battlefield. But I think you could have the potential for a super cool like Northern African or Mediterranean campaign, especially if it was in operations. If they brought operations back, I think that'd be a super cool way to do it. A lot of people think too that this means the factions are going to be like a Middle East coalition instead of Russian versus US troops, which is sometimes hard to force in some of these other locations, but definitely possible. So yeah, this mostly shows that we do have a map base in Cairo and that we're likely going to see some different factions than the traditional US versus Russia or US versus China that we've seen in the last few years. And so some of the other leaks was somebody commenting under this post. The comments have since been either removed or deleted, but he was talking about a few things that he did in a playtest. So he originally said he playtested this map a while ago, like months and months ago. And he thought it might have been something for Battlefield 2042 because to play it, they launched through Battlefield 2042, and it was just kind of like a updated version of that. And he also said a lot of the map was unfinished, like a lot of the stuff was untextured, but he said they were testing kind of the class system and then getting a general feel on the map. And so he said they played 20v20 on this map. You could see the pyramids on the outskirts of the map sort of off in the distance. And he also said there was 3 classes that were locked. So the potential for maybe 7 classes, or those are just classes they also want to test into the 4-class system. And so I likely think that those were all test classes, and the ones they were using were the 4 ones they were trying to test in that specific playtest, but they still had the other ones coded into the game. So when they do a different playtest, they could kind of swap them in. Something else he talked about was you could kind of hang on to the back of tanks. That was another like specific feature. I also believe he said you could body drag people too. So like body dragging people to go and revive them. I know they've tried to do that in certain games. I believe they eventually did get it into some of the maybe 2042 or Battlefield 5. It's been a while since I've played them. Some of this gameplay that I'm having is old gameplay I had saved up on my PC. But he talks about a lot of kind of specific features. So I listed the ones that I remembered, but I think the coolest, most interesting ones is the class system. If we're not necessarily getting the original 4 class system, like they said, because they did say we're going back to like kind of a more traditional class system, it could be like the 7 class system we had in Battlefield 2. It could also include like the pilot classes and tanker classes we had in Battlefield 1. So that could also be something that they like had there. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where we go with that. I think we'll find out pretty soon the kind of class systems we'll be testing. There's supposed to be Battlefield Labs Playtest in the coming weeks and months, but hopefully sooner rather than later. So I'll just keep you guys up to date on all the information we're getting. I'm sure as more trailers come out, more detectives will get a full picture of where this game's going. That's about it for this video. I'll have many more videos talking about future Battlefield leaks, information, and I just have a lot of general Battlefield videos coming out over the next couple weeks. So if you're super interested in the Battlefield franchise in general, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time.